All right, fifth graders, in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at solving for a variable inside of a complex equation. We learned yesterday that when we want to solve for a variable, which is figuring out what that letter inside these algebraic equations is, we want to undo that equation. We want to work in backwards order as what we would do for our order of operations. As the video talked about yesterday, when you put on your socks and shoes, normally you put on your socks first and then your shoes. If you want to undo that action, you can't do your socks first. You have to go backwards. So you would actually take off your shoes first and then your socks. So we have to work in backwards order. Now we know that our order of operations goes parentheses. Let me grab my pen tool here. We got parentheses, exponents, multiplication and division are kind of on their same level, and then adding and subtraction are on that bottom level. So the first thing we need to do is we need to do work, if we're going to undo it, is work back up our order of operations. So first we have to undo the adding and subtracting. Whenever we work and we're solving for variables, remember we want to isolate that variable, which means get it on one side of the equal sign all by itself, because then we can easily figure out what it is. So if I'm looking here, I see right away at the beginning of the equation, it says to add 412. Well, if I want to undo that, because we're undoing the adding and subtracting first, I'm going to take away 412, because then I would have nothing left on this side of the equation. That cancels it out. But if I do it on one side, I got to do it on the other side. So I'm going to take 412 away over there, which leaves me with a new equation of x divided by 4 minus 7 times 10 minus 7. Remember, that's what these parentheses mean. When you have a number outside of a parentheses, it means whatever's inside of the parentheses, we're going to multiply by what's on the outside of the parentheses. That equals 430 minus 412. Now, I could write 430 minus 412, or I could actually do that math right now. So if I think about it, 430 minus 412 would equal, if you're unsure, just do a little math on the side here. 430 minus 412. I want you to double check all of your work. So I'm just going to quickly do this. So you can see it equals 18. So my new equation looks like that. X divided by 4 minus 7 times 10 minus 7 equals 18. All right, we've done our first step. Now we still have to look. Is there any other adding and subtracting we need to undo? Yes, there is. We need to undo this subtraction right here. It says, okay, we're taking away 7 times 10 minus 7. So we're going to add 7 times 10 minus 7. Cancel it out. We do it on one side. We have to do it on the other side. So we're taking away 7, 10 minus 7, getting us this brand new equation of x divided by 4 equals 18 minus, oh, I'm sorry, we're adding it. I'm sorry. 18 plus, because we do the opposite, I misspoke, plus 7 times 10 minus 7. Now, I could just do this. I know that we are working our way up, but this is a number that I can figure out. So I'm going to undo that there. If I think about this, 10 minus 7 is 3. 3 times 7, because 3 is on the inside, is 21. So that would equal 21. So I could actually erase this whole equation here. 18 plus 21 is 39. So I could just put 39 there. All right, so I can take little shortcuts like that if I want to. So this new equation equals x divided by 4 equals 39. We're doing one step at a time. Next thing I have to do is I have to undo this divided by 4. Well, how do I do that? Well, I times 4. If I times 4, boom, that cancels out. I have 39 over here. I multiply by 4, all right, which leaves me x equals 39 times 4. And once I solve that problem, I know what x is. We're going one step at a time. Now, like we've talked about, you can certainly go to a calculator. I have faith that you will get these right, but sometimes a calculator is a great tool to check our work. So I have 156. So that means my final answer, and I'm going to write it just like this, would be x equals 156. And so that's what I'd enter as my last answer. X equals 156. So you can see it gets to be messy here. It's why it's very good to keep yourself organized. And that's why we're working on proofs, doing one step at a time. But you're undoing those equations. You're starting at the bottom, working your way back up, undoing any adding, subtracting, then undoing any multiplying, division, then any exponents, and then any parentheses. But you also know that if you can isolate something like I did with this parenthesis right here, that was actually just multiplication, even though it looked like it was a parenthesis. I can take those little shortcuts if I want. All right, a lot to take in. You're going to get better by just doing a few problems. So good luck, and I will be around to help you if you need it.